is called Natiivo Miami. And if we think about these short-term rental platforms, they really want you to live the experience as a native of whatever city you're in. If you're in Miami or in Istanbul or Paris, they want you to live the experience as a native, as a nativo. So that's where they came up with this name, which I think is absolutely fabulous and very on point for the product. The two eyes represent the guest and the host. So that's why there are two eyes in Natiivo. So that's a little history about the name. You would own this apartment, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but Amel is an owner, as the buyer,
yes,
okay, and the seller, so she put her money where her mouth is.
Exactly.
And this building you would own like any other apartment, okay? If you decide as an owner that you want to live here 100% of the time, by all means, please do so. If you want to rent it short-term, long-term, whatever terms you want, you will be able to do that. But this phrase is very important. Purposely designed, built, and licensed for home sharing. I'm not sure if your audience knows, but in Miami, usually the minimum amount of time to rent out an apartment is between 6 months and a year. So the fact that if someone chooses to rent this out daily or weekly or monthly, they are able to do so with all the authorization. No problem. You have all the flexibility without any restrictions. So as I was just saying, short-term, long-term, your terms. We want to give the power to the owners here to do with the apartment as they wish. Okay? What's interesting about home sharing nowadays is how much the platform has changed in the last 10 years. It's almost gone up 300%. So it's really disrupted some of the hotel industry because 1 in 4 people travel with friends, 1 in 4 people travel with family. I, for instance, have 3 kids. And anytime I had to stay in a hotel, I would rent connecting rooms because there aren't big enough hotel rooms unless I wanted to pay $1,500 a night for a room. So it was cheaper to rent 2 hotel rooms than rent a big one. So now that's why it has changed so much. Here you're going to have the size of apartments that people look for in these short-term rental platforms and the location, but at the same time, you have all the services and amenities of a hotel. Okay, so you have the best of both worlds. This is a hybrid in that sense. Location, location, location. If that phrase ever applied to a screen hearing, technical things. If that phrase ever applied to a property and to a location, it would be here. We are coming to downtown Miami, in the heart of downtown Miami. And I'm not sure how extensive I'm going to get into everything that's going on here, but let me start by telling you that we are coming to between 6th Street and 1st and 2nd Avenue. I'm not sure if the audience knows exactly where this is, but to give you points of reference, we are right in back of the Metro Mover Station. We are right in back of the Freedom Tower. Now the Metro Mover Station takes you through all of downtown Miami and Brickell for free, and they are expanding their routes. And I'm talking about that because there is so much transportation access to our property. We're also right in back of the Freedom Tower, which today is a museum. But in the 1950s, that's where all the Cubans that came from Cuba had to register to go out and live in Miami. It's been a museum for a while and it is absolutely gorgeous, as you'll see in my next slide. But more importantly than those two things is that we are literally across the street from the American Airlines Arena, and that's where all of our Heat games are. We almost won the final, the championship.
It's almost.
Almost. We were second, which is still great.
We tried so hard.
We did.
Yeah, we
did. But we are also, that's also where all the concerts are, where all the major events go on. We are right across the street from Bayside Market, which is an outdoor market that's been there since 1987, beautiful, surrounded by marinas, also besides shops. We are 2 blocks away from the Port of Miami, and believe me, people are dying to go on cruises again. People are dying to travel. Here, 6 million passengers per year come through the Port of Miami, and this is the perfect location for them to stay. If they're coming 2 days before their cruise or 2 days after their cruise, we will have agreements with the Port of Miami to send those people here. Every time I go on a cruise, I do the same thing. They set up a package for me, and that's what I do. We are right next door to the Miami World Center. Miami World Center is a fabulous location. They truly have put Miami, downtown Miami, on the map and are truly making this the downtown, the robust downtown that we deserve. So they started it, now we are also following up with what's happening at Natiivo, in I think an even better location. But it is 28 acres of not only buildings, but restaurants, an outdoor mall, all these fabulous things, a convention center. So that's something that's very important. We are right across from 2 brand new museums, the Performing Arts Center, where the ballet is, the opera is, all the Broadway shows. We are right next to Miami-Dade College, which is our local college, but over 30,000 students study here. Many of them come just for a semester, or their families come to visit them. Perfect location. And we are also 2 blocks away from our brand new train. It's called the Bright Line. And the Bright Line today goes to Fort Lauderdale and to West Palm Beach. It is amazing. It's a brand new terminal that will be the main hub for Metro Rail, Metro Mover, Tri-Rail, so they bring people from the airport and then they go on through there. But more importantly than what's happening today is that by the time Natiivo is ready, it will be going to Aventura, Boca, the Port of Miami, Orlando, and let's say that one again, Orlando, Tampa. So many people come here per year, rent their cars, drive to Orlando, or the people going directly to Orlando and drive to Miami, they won't be doing that anymore. This is the perfect place for them to come, get on the train, go to Orlando, and stay at Natiivo either before or after. So there are so many different scenarios as to why somebody would be staying at Natiivo. Skyrise Miami is coming to Bayside, which is going to be an entertainment tower. I could spend a long time talking about this, and if you were here in person with a client or on a Zoom or however we would present to them, we would be spending more time and definitely have that vision cap on, because everything is happening in downtown, and I reiterate how Miami is such a great opportunity and how lucky we are to sell in Miami. So let's go on. I hope I'm not skipping things, but this is also where all the main events are. Art Basel is a famous art festival that has been coming to Miami from Basel, Switzerland for 10 years. Some of their main locations happen within walking distance. Context Miami, Art Miami, the marathons, Ultra Music Festival, everything happens in this area. We're also minutes from Brickell, downtown, we're in downtown, Wynwood, Midtown, the Design District. We're minutes from the beach because we have all the bridges in front of us, Fort Lauderdale. So here's a great location shot.
Look at the view.
And here you may want to zoom in, because this is the Freedom Tower and this is where our building is going to be. The brand new Ferris wheel is here already, and by the way, that's up and running. So that's really nice. Look at this beautiful marina. That's another thing I didn't mention. The yacht shows are here every year in February. And that's fantastic because we are surrounded by marinas around here. So let's say you want to give your apartment to Natiivo management to manage for you, which by the way, you don't have to. As an owner, you can manage the property for yourself on any platform. You can also give the apartment to Amel if she wants to specialize in these short-term or long-term properties and she has the time to do so, perfect. But you have Natiivo management, in my opinion, as the turnkey solution. They will be in charge of, they will be the master host. They will be in charge of always having your apartment advertised on many different platforms at the same time. The owners will all have a Natiivo app on their phone. I'll show you that next slide. A Natiivo app on their phone, which you can see everything in real time. How much your apartment was rented for, how much the apartment was, for how long it was rented for. Everything on demand in real time. If you are using your apartment and want to book one of the restaurants or a spa or a yoga class, everything you'll be able to do it through this Natiivo app, okay? And remember, if I'm skipping anything, Amel, I know you're an expert, you please ask me as we go.
I'm listening mesmerized, thinking that what a great investment.
Exactly. I'm glad. I have to resell this to you too, So it is a wonderful opportunity. These are all the different platforms where your apartment will be advertised. Okay, it's not just Airbnb. It's Booking.com, it's Expedia, it's VRBO. It's many different platforms at the same time. Arquitectónica are our architects. And by the way, I skipped something. Your management fee will be around 30%, and that's quite good. I sold the W South Beach, wonderful property, but there the owners always have restrictions, and they charge over 50% to put their apartments in the hotel program. Here it's only 30% because they want it to be very competitive. They want you to decide to give it to Natiivo management and not manage it on your own. So they want it to be competitive so that you will want to do that. Arquitectónica are the architects. They are the largest architects in Florida and world-renowned. But one of my favorites is Brickell City Center. If you haven't been there, it's a beautiful mall, but the architecture is what really is so amazing about Brickell City Center. So we have, we are doing this live presentation out of our sales gallery. I know Amel walked around a little bit, but we do have a full-scale model here. We have a model of the kitchen, a model of the master bath, which isn't to scale, but we have a model of the master bath. But I will tell you about the building here instead of at the model. So here you have the podium of the building. It's all an amazing brick. So think Meatpacking District in New York or Boston, where you have these brick buildings, but it's mixed with a modern tower, beautiful glass. And the building entrance is off of 6th Street. It's all of 6th Street with over 15 feet wide, beautiful sidewalk. On the corner of 6th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue is where one of our restaurants will be. We will have 2 restaurants, but this one, think Italy in New York, which is like a gourmet market / restaurant, or Casa Tua at Brickell City Center.